Hello and a very warm welcome to all of you. It's the last day of 2024 and what a year this has been for us as we look ahead to 2025. One last time, let's look at all the sports stories from the day and we'll also look ahead to the week. So let's start then with cricket as the Indian management ponders over the outcome at the MCG and looks ahead to the final test in Sydney in 3 days' time. A degree of introspection must be dedicated to the form of the team's two most senior players, Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. This has been a tour to forget for skipper Rohit, whose average of 6.20 is the lowest ever for any visiting test captain to Australia with a minimum of 5 innings. The 37-year-old has managed a total of 31 runs with a best of 10, and this run of low scores has extended a lean period dating back to September when India resumed playing test cricket after nearly 7 months. In that time, Rohit's career batting average has fallen from 45.46 to 40.57, which is a drop of almost 5 runs per innings. Overall, in 2024, Rohit averages under 25 from 14 tests, and this difficult phase as a batter seems to have rattled his captaincy as well. After beating Bangladesh 2-0 in September, India lost to New Zealand 0-3 at home in a series in which Rohit averaged 11 with the bat and has visibly been off colour with his field placements and bowling changes. After missing the Perth Test on paternity leave, Rohit resumed the captaincy and has overseen 2 losses and a draw, which India were lucky to have escaped due to rain in Brisbane. Noticeably, what has also been seen is the dramatic slowing of Rohit's reflexes at the crease as well as his lack of judgment. The dismissal at the MCG on the last day was case in point for Rohit, who batted about an hour without a boundary only to throw away his wicket with the first aggressive shot he attempted. Not long after, Kohli joined Rohit in the dressing room after he was dismissed on the stroke of lunch for 5 through an all-too familiar mode of dismissal. With India struggling at 33 for 2 and with less than 2 minutes left in the first session, Kohli chose to chase a wide delivery from Mitchell Starc and nicked it to first slip. This latest dismissal continued Kohli's trend of nicking behind the wicket all series. All 6 of his dismissals on this tour have been edges behind the wicket, thrice to Australia's wicketkeeper Alex Carey, twice to Usman Khawaja at first slip and once to Steve Smith at first slip. The failure on the last day at the MCG gave Kohli a test batting average of 24.52 this year and sends him into the New Year's test in Sydney with questions as to why has he failed to rectify a habit of playing outside the off stump that has dogged him for 4 years now. Since the start of 2020, Kohli is averaging 31 from 38 test matches with 3 centuries, 9 50s and 5 ducks. During this lean run of form, Kohli has nicked off to pace bowlers on 20 occasions, and an inability to mend his ways has not only seen his test batting average drop from the mid-50s to 47, but also let down Team India on too many occasions. With one more test to go in Sydney before India next play test cricket in July, with the selectors, will they persist with Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli for the start of a new WTC cycle? Or are we looking at the end of the pair in the 5-day format? That's a serious question for the selectors and for the senior team management, for the BCCI. Is this going to be the last time we'll see at least Rohit Sharma in Test cricket when he plays in Sydney, or will he drop himself in Sydney? And will there be a different playing 11? All of those questions need to be answered, but right now, that's the debate that we're seeing now on social media, that we're seeing among former greats as to what is the future of these 2 greats of Indian cricket. Now, in the post-match press conference after India's crushing defeat in the Boxing Day Test, Rohit was asked where did he see himself after his failure. Now, he didn't have a very straight answer to that simple question. Listen into what he said.
I stand where I'm standing today. There is nothing to think about what has happened in the past. Obviously, few results have not gone our way. As a captain, yes, that is disappointing. And yes, as a batter as well, a lot of the things that I'm trying to do is not falling in the place that I would want to. But mentally, look, it is disturbing without a doubt. If you've come here and you want to come here and try and do successfully what you're supposed to, and if those things don't fall in place, that is a big disappointment. But as of now, that is where it is, and there are things that we as a team need to look at. I personally need to look at as well. So we'll try and see what happens. There's still a game to go. If we can play that game well, it's 2-all. So a draw will be really nice.
Former Australian batter Simon Katich took a sly dig at Virat Kohli during commentary after the star batter failed in India's 340-run chase in the second innings of the fourth test against Australia in Melbourne. Katich, now remember, has been a two-time head coach of Royal Challengers Bengaluru, so he knows Virat Kohli closely. He said, as Virat Kohli was dismissed on the stroke of lunch break, he said, and I quote, "The king is dead. He trudges off. Kohli, King Bumrah has taken the mantle now. Kohli looks dejected with himself. That was a big knock for him. He has come up short. Australia will be very, very happy with the situation they find themselves in." Another former cricketer, Darren Lehmann, also said that the retirement of Rohit and Kohli won't affect Indian cricket much. He said, and I quote, "Look, whenever they," which is Rohit and Virat Kohli, "whenever they decide to give it away, and whatever happens in next few days, they've been great players for India over a long period of time. Now, actually, we see younger players starting to step up for India and play well at the next level. There's so much depth in Indian cricket, I won't worry too much. Whenever these two guys decide to retire, there are so many talented youngsters that Indian cricket will be in good stead." Okay, now this is a matter that we've all been, very curiously watching as to what will be the result of this. I'm talking about Magnus Carlsen and his jeans. Chess great Magnus Carlsen, he returned to the World Rapid and Blitz Chess Championship on Monday in New York, and he was wearing jeans. Carlsen, world champion between 2013 and 2023, decided to leave the tournament on Friday when FIDE barred him from participating in a round at the tournament due to him wearing jeans, a breach of dress code regulations. The 34-year-old Norwegian then quit the event following the decision to bar him before saying he would return in an interview on the YouTube channel of Take app on Sunday, adding that he would wear a pair of jeans as a matter of principle. In their own statement, FIDE announced they would relax the dress code and allow jeans that matched jackets. Carlsen also criticized senior FIDE officials, including its deputy president Vishwanathan Anand, for mishandling the dress code violation issue, calling them not grown-ups and stating that Anand was not ready for the job. Describing the decision to disqualify him as draconian, the Norwegian called the officials robots who are not capable of making independent decisions. Vishy was part of the group who had penalized Carlsen for turning out in denims for his match. About Anand, the Norwegian said, and I quote, "We had long conversations with Anand yesterday and others, which generally didn't lead anywhere." Anand said very clearly that he didn't know that he had any opportunity to do anything past, go with the arbitrator's honestly draconian decision of not pairing me. And that means that he was, for all his good qualities, not ready for this job. That's what I feel. And in fact, Magnus Carlsen used very strong language against FIDE as he decided not to participate. But since then, things have calmed down between FIDE and Magnus Carlsen, and he's back to participating. Okay, moving on to football now. Newcastle United beat Manchester United 2-0 in the Premier League on Monday thanks to goals from Alexander Isak and Joe Linton at Old Trafford. An ugly culmination of one of the most miserable months in the home side's recent memory. With 5 losses in their last 6 league games, Manchester United are languishing 14th in the standings on 19 points, their worst placing to end a calendar year since they were 15th in 1989. Newcastle are 5th on 32 points. Isaac got the visitors on the score sheet in the 4th minute when he leapt to head home a pinpoint cross from Lewis Hall, with both Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez failing to pick him up. It was the 11th goal in 11 games for Isaac, who has scored more Premier League goals in December than any other player with 8. Newcastle doubled their lead in the 19th minute in near carbon copy fashion, with Anthony Gordon sending in a cross that Joelinton headed in. The win marked Newcastle's second victory at Old Trafford in 40 league visits, dating back to 1972. It is also the first time since 1979 that Manchester United have lost 3 consecutive league games at home. Their 18 goals conceded in all competitions in December is their most in a single month since March 1964. The score could have been more lopsided, with Isaac lashing a shot past keeper Andre Onana in what would have made it 3-0 in the first half before the offside flag went up, to the relief of United fans. Soon after, Sandro Tonali, he missed an absolute sitter when he ran onto a flick from Gordon but clattered it off the woodwork. While the home side, who were playing without captain Bruno Fernandes, who was serving a suspension, struggled to get out of their end in the first half, Rasmus Højlund and Casemiro both squandered their chances just before half-time. Højlund was played in by Martinez but sent his shot across the face of goal inches from the far corner, while Casemiro unleashed a shot that sailed wide, burying his head in his hands. Amorim's men were better after the break, and Maguire's diving header that goalkeeper Martin Dubravka grabbed at least had the Old Trafford crowd to booed their squad off the pitch at the break, cheering their effort. One of the game's ugliest moments was when the Old Trafford crowd lustily booed struggling Joshua Zirkzee when Amorim took him out of the game in the 33rd minute. There were huge swaths of empty seats, however, by the time the final whistle blew. It has been a tough time for Manchester United and for the new coach, Ruben Amorim.
Ruben, is it embarrassing as Manchester United manager that you're talking about relegation?
Yeah, it's also my fault in this moment, because I think the team is not improved. I think is a little bit lost in this moment. So it's a little bit embarrassing to be a Manchester United coach and to lose a lot of games. So, but we have to cope with that. Difficult moments in the life of everybody. So it's a hard moment. When you have a change of coach, especially in this type of club, is because they are not winning, and they play specifically in the system they were bought for and choose perfectly for that system. So in that moment, with the idea, with 2 years working in pre-seasons, they were losing. So I'm going to change for that system that I don't believe, to change things to win games. It doesn't make sense. So I can understand your ideas. For me, it's more simple than that. What I think is that, of course, you can. If I think the players with the right profile for each position, it will be different. But I have to start now this moment, because this team was already in problems. So I have to teach what I know, and that is my focus, and I believe on that.
Football superstar Cristiano Ronaldo has insisted that he will own a football club in the future once his illustrious playing career is over. Speaking at the 2024 Globe Soccer Awards in Dubai last week, Ronaldo said, "Mark my words, I will be an owner of a big club for sure." Ronaldo also backed struggling Manchester United to find their way, and Manchester City, in fact, also to find their way out of their recent slump and form, and also doubled down on his opinion about the Saudi League and said that it is of higher quality than the French League One. The 15th annual gala saw youngsters like Spain and Barcelona's rising star Lamine Yamal and Jude Bellingham of Real Madrid, and England arrive alongside former Spanish greats Michel Salgado and Gerard Piqué. Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi are in contention for awards after both were passed over for the Ballon d'Or.
I'm not a coach. I'm never going to be a coach or president of the club. Maybe no, too. Maybe owner of the club, yes.
Is that what you want to do? You want to become a club owner?
Probably. I will see. Depend of the moment, the opportunities.
Have you got a club in mind?
Not yet. A few, maybe.
A few? Have a conglomerate?
And they need, I say this 1 year and a half ago, and I will continue to say, the problem is not the coaches. It's like, I'm always give this example, I will try right now to see if it's going well. It's like the Aquarius. If you have the fishing inside and he's sick, and you take him out, and you fix the problem, and if you put it again in Aquarius, they will be sick again. And this is the problem of Manchester United, is the same. The problem is not only the coach, it's much more than that.
And do you think that is still the case at Old Trafford?
100%. If I will be the owner of the club, I will make the things clear and adjust what I think it's bad
You see,
there.
I'm now joining the dots. Is that the plan? Have you spoken to the Glazers?
I'm still very young. I have so many plans and dreams ahead. But mark my words, I will be owner of a big club, for sure. But as I said before, Premier League is a different beast. It's a different league. It's the most competitive league in the world. I knew it will be tough, and they will continue the storm, but the storm will finish and the sun will rise. So, fingers crossed, the things will be good with him, and I hope the best for Manchester United, because it's some club that I still love it.
Barcelona have lost another appeal for the precautionary registration of Dani Olmo for the rest of the season, one day before the deadline to register the Spanish international. Barcelona signed Olmo in August for around 55 million euros. But with the club unable to meet La Liga's wage cap, the attacking midfielder was registered for the first half of the season only. The 4-month allowance is set to expire at the end of the month. Now, the club managed to register Olmo after long-term injuries kept first-team players out of the squad for months, following Barca to allocate a portion of their wages to register the 26-year-old along with forward Pau Victor. On Friday, the Commercial Court number 10 of Barcelona rejected the club's request to provisionally register Olmo, and the Court of First Instance number 47 of Barcelona agreed with that ruling on Monday. That decision was then confirmed in 3 separate appeals by its Financial Fair Play Committee, its Social Appeals Committee, and by the UEFA Second Instance Licensing Committee of the Spanish Football Federation. Barcelona then decided on the judicial route, but now face a race against time to find an alternative plan. Spanish media reports say that Barcelona are planning to use the sale of VIP boxes at the Camp Nou Stadium, which could bring in over 100 million euros, which will need the approval of La Liga. Reuters has contacted that club for comments. Barcelona are third in the La Liga standings, 3 points behind leaders Atletico Madrid, and the next game is at Copa del Rey, round of 32 tie away to fourth-tier Barbastro on Saturday, which Dani Olmo might miss. On to tennis. Inaugural champions, the United States and Italy handed out identical 3-0 thrashings to Croatia and France, respectively, to top their groups and sail into the quarterfinals of the United Cup. On Tuesday, Taylor Fritz 6-3, 6-2 win against Borna Koric in men's singles ensured the US, who meet China in the quarterfinals. They topped Group A regardless of the outcome of the tie in the mixed team tournament. The big-hitting American converted his only breakpoint of the first set in the 7th game and then served out the opener to surge ahead. He capitalized on a double break to go 4-love up and then went on to secure his maiden win against Koric in 91 minutes. Coco Gauff She was equally doubles win. Earlier, Italy's Flavio Cobolli, she saved a match point to get the better of Frenchman Hugo Humbert. 3-6, 7-6, 6-2 in Group D. In Sydney, Humbert won his first 17 service points in the second set and was serving for the match 6-3, 5-4 before Cobolli produced a stunning comeback. Well, that's it then on this edition of Game On. Here's to a new year of fresh victories, fresh challenges, and our undying passion for sports. Hopefully, it'll continue. Hopefully, you'll keep watching us. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.